Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. We've told you about this in the past, where because there are so many migrants coming into the country, the United States government has actually had to stop doing certain things along the border to essentially to surge people to different locations. And starting today at 8 a.m. Central Time, that's 9 o'clock our time here on the East Coast, they are going to temporarily suspend freight train crossings at the bridges in El Paso and Eagle Pass. And what they're going to do, the people who normally do those jobs looking at freight trains, they're going to put them and have them start processing migrants because there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, can you believe this? So this is going to disrupt. The goal is to make sure that all of these people who are hopping on the train cars, they can't get from Mexico to the United States. But I'm sure these trains are running for a reason, bringing cargo into the United States. So this is a big deal. Yeah. And CBP released a statement. They said after observing a recent resurgence of smuggling organizations moving migrants through Mexico via freight trains, CBP is taking additional actions to surge personnel and address this concerning development, including in partnership with Mexican authorities. So the federal government is working with the Mexican government on stopping these trains.
Yeah, it would be good. Why did we have to even ask? The Mexican government knows exactly where they're going, and they had no problem with it, but at least they have some semblance of cooperation, at the very least lip service. So for the longest time, we sit on this couch and we talk to certain people about the problems at the border, and other people say, well, for you to crack down on the border means that you don't understand that America is a nation of immigrants, Lawrence. You don't understand that people should be able to come here. You're anti-Hispanic. If you listen to the Castro brothers, the congressman from Texas, if you want to crack down. But now the American people have sobered up. And that argument never flew here, but it's not flowing anywhere. Check out this poll. The question was asked, what best describes the situation along the country's southern border? That's New Mexico, Arizona, California, and Texas. 34% say emergency. 45% say major problem. 20% say minor problem. Put it this way. It goes over to 70% see a problem at the border. You no longer have a choice, Democrats. You have to do something, which makes me feel, dare I say, we're going to get a massive deal at the border along with this war aid. What do you think?
Well, Brian, I think you hit it right on the head. If you ever want to see the Democrats start moving on something, just check the polls. They move as the polls move. And I think it's become very apparent that it's a major crisis in America right now. When you have Democrats that are now agreeing with the Republicans and independents on this issue, Joe Biden has no choice. I don't think it's going to be the best deal, but it's going to be something to stop some of the bleeding there. You know, there's a new chief of Border Patrol, former BORTEC guy, has the support of the rank and file, and he's been releasing numbers like crazy for the American people to see. Right. I think also that has impacted the way the administration now has to address this issue. First, they were a little bit slow with releasing what was happening at the border. You only saw the Fox drone shots and the reporting from Bill Melugin and Griff Jenkins. Now we have the numbers to support it. What's happening out there, and I think it's causing a lot of folks in America to change their position on border security.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why at that freight train crossing at 9 o'clock this morning, they're going to shut things down because El Paso's online migrant information dashboard showed 1,500 migrant encounters yesterday, 2,700 migrants in custody, and 363 migrant releases. And why are so many migrants going right now? Because we've historically, the winter this time is not a real popular time because they just wait till the weather is nicer. It's migrants showing up there because the cartels are very effective at sending people on a wild goose chase, essentially, and as soon as the Border Patrol people see them, they start to process them, and that's why they can't run the train.
It's so orchestrated and organized, and the cartels are making money hand over fist. And you could also pay cartels to help these illegal immigrants evade Border Patrol. Right. And that's one of the big concerns is these gotaways. We don't know who's in our country, and that leads to major national security concerns. Right. Senator Lindsey Graham talked about that yesterday. Listen to what he had to say.
According to the FBI director last week, he's never seen more threats to the homeland than he does today. Wherever he looks, he sees blinking lights. The border has been obliterated since January 21 till now. We've had 6 million people come to date. There are 3.6 million on schedule to come this year alone. The policy choices of the Biden administration has made the border a dangerous place to come to. America is under threat, according to the FBI director, since October the 7th. Jihadist groups want to attack us because we're helping Israel. I've never been more worried about a 9/11 than I am right now, and our border has been obliterated, and we're not going to give in on some Band-Aid fix.
And you know what? Lindsey Graham's been saying it, but John Fetterman is now weighing in. Democrat, he says this: we can't do it. We're essentially getting people in with the amount of people who are in Pittsburgh on a daily basis. Katie Hobbs, Democratic governor from Arizona. Federal government has failed. Ruben Gallego, Democratic congressman in Arizona, a letter to Mayorkas. We have to stop these arrivals for illegals from coming in, even if it's politically motivated. This is the type of thing that has to happen to change the asylum rules, not just build a wall, have rapid return, shut it down if it goes over a certain amount, and rapid return. If you come to our country without reporting from the first country you stepped in, you are now ineligible to get in. If this stuff is implemented in January, we'll see an immediate impact.
Lawrence?
Yeah, we're seeing notices to appear there are 5 years from now. We need a massive amount of federal judges that can go to the border and process these migrants. If you talk to the left, they keep saying, you know, the asylum. Well, 95% of the people don't qualify for an asylum. The problem is you don't have the judges there that can run them through the system to deny them. So get the judges there. Let's wrap this up and start the deportations.
Yeah, Tom Homan, if he takes over, if Trump wins, says we're going into the cities and grabbing them and sending them out because they have no business being here.
Well, that Fox News poll that shows that 80% think it's a disaster, essentially, that should be a big red warning sign there at the president's campaign because it's not good for him.